Hey, Jose Monkey, where am I at?
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. This one was a little bit tricky, guys, but if you look closely, there are clues that help to narrow down the location. So what can we see? It's a brief video, just 6 seconds. Check it out.
Hey, Jose Monkey, where am I at?
Okay, so we can't see too much. The video starts with this view of the road, and we can see that it's divided in the middle, and on the median here we have some bushes and some landscaping. Next we see this building, but there's really nothing distinctive about it. After that we see these 3 flagpoles. I'll come back to those in a minute. Next we see a wall here that has writing on it that says main entrance. After that we get this sign that is basically unreadable. And then we see this covered area here, which is probably the aforementioned entrance. And there's some more writing here that was difficult to read. I tried to make out what it said, and I kept thinking that maybe the first part of it looked like chick or like chicken or something like that, but I figured that couldn't be right. Anyway, after that, the person turns the camera back to the left and shows us all the same things that we saw at the beginning. Okay, let's talk about those flags. Obviously, the center flag is the American flag. I figured that this one was probably a US state flag, but I wasn't sure which one at first. We can tell that it's a blue flag with some kind of emblem in the middle, but honestly, that describes the flags of many US states. However, I noticed that there's writing at the bottom of the flag, and that's not as common. I started thinking that maybe this was a Kansas state flag. And we have that third flag on the left, but I wasn't really sure what that was. Sometimes you'll see big companies put their company logo on a flag in an arrangement like this, but it's really difficult to make out any details on that flag. Okay, so I started trying to think about what kinds of places might have a well-marked main entrance like we see in this video. I was wondering if maybe it was like a hospital or medical center or something like that. Those types of places often have multiple entrances, and they usually mark the main one so people know where they're going. So I started looking at different photos of hospitals in Kansas thinking that maybe I'd see something that looked similar. But guys, I looked for a while and I wasn't seeing anything that really looked right. And after I'd been looking for about 30 minutes, I started to think that maybe that wasn't a Kansas flag after all. So I went back to the list of US state flags, and when I did that, I noticed that the Oklahoma state flag actually could be a match. The Oklahoma state flag has a blue field with an Osage Nation war shield on it. And it says Oklahoma at the bottom. If we look at this frame from the video and flip it around so that the flag is facing the right direction, we can see that there's sort of a dark shape on whatever emblem is on the middle of this flag that runs from the top left to the bottom right. I was thinking that's the olive branch on the Oklahoma state flag. Okay, so maybe this is Oklahoma, not Kansas. So I just did a Google image search for Oklahoma main entrance to see if I could find anything that matched. And as I was doing that, I found a couple things that made me have a bit of an aha moment. In my search, I found this photo for a Chickasaw Nation Welcome Center. And when I saw that, I noticed 2 things right away. First, the building itself and the writing both looked similar to the style of the building and the writing that we see in the video. And second, look at the flags here. We've got 3 flags, the US flag, the Oklahoma flag, and the Chickasaw Nation flag. So I went back and looked at the video, and even though it's not particularly clear, I thought that maybe that could be what this third flag is. And that's when I realized that that difficult to read writing that I was seeing probably did start with Chick. It likely said Chickasaw Nation. And I was all ready to start doing a new search for Chickasaw Nation buildings when I realized that in my search results I also had this photo. That was for some place called the Chickasaw Cultural Center. According to Wikipedia, the Chickasaw Cultural Center is a 184-acre campus that is home to historical museum buildings with interactive exhibits on Chickasaw tribal history, traditional dancing, and Chickasaw language. I figured that a museum might have a clearly marked main entrance. So I went to check it out. And guys, that was it. You are here near this parking lot at the Chickasaw Cultural Center in Sulphur, Oklahoma, on Chickasaw Nation land. I had a little bit of trouble finding photos to help me confirm the location. There's no Google Street View coverage at the Cultural Center, but I looked at the webpage for the Cultural Center and I found this photo. And if you zoom in on this photo, you can see a few things. We've got the main entrance sign that matches what we see in the video, that sign that was unreadable in the video, the writing that says Chickasaw Nation, and the 3 flagpoles, even though there are no flags flying in this photo. I was pretty sure that was it. I also used a satellite view to find that median with the landscaping on it in the middle of the road. You were standing right here, near the entrance to this parking lot. Okay, it's time to check which previous location is closest to this one. And this time it was one of the places I found during lightning round number 4 in Norman, Oklahoma. That's about 53 miles or 85 kilometers away from this spot. I was going to say that this is the first time that I've found somebody on Native American lands, but let's be honest guys, that's not really true, is it? Just saying. Check out the map of all the places I've found for you so far from the videos that you've tagged me in. And while you're on my site, check out my store if you're into that sort of thing. If anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.